Hi, how's it going today? So, we're going to use some terms that for more emerged leaders like myself, those of us who are a little bit more advanced in our careers, those are terms that are coming about that you have to go in and Google and look at. And so, whether it's ghosting or gaslighting or FOMO, we're going to talk about FOMO today specifically. We might address some of the other ones in the future, but specifically, FOMO stands for the fear of missing out. I didn't know that that was such a thing. I didn't know that there was nomenclature that was associated with it, but it is something that I have struggled with my entire life. I always felt, because I have competition from a Clifton Strength standpoint, competition is my number two. I hate to lose, but I also hate to be trying to figure out, should I have done this or should I have done that? Or what if and so that basis of comparison is always there. And it actually drives me overall. And that's the reason. And I attribute my competition to how I've gotten this far in my career, coming from a very small town in South Louisiana. I could not have predicted this vast and beautiful career that I've had, but it is specifically driven by wanting to continue to excel and succeed and achieve all these great things. And in the last year, I would say in now the last 2 years, I've had to throttle that back. And when we live in our hobbit holes, this is kind of I call this my hobbit hole of my office environment. I am getting out way more than I was a year ago, but by basis of comparison, in terms of doing business development, how I've done it in the past, it isn't anywhere near the amount that I was out and about in the community. So the little drill sergeant in me that sits on my shoulder that tries to penetrate my thinking wants me to think, what am I missing out on? Is there something I don't know? What do I need to achieve more of? And it's actually acknowledging those thoughts and realizing I am going to be exactly where I am. I am doing everything humanly in my power to be able to create and innovate and keep track of those things that are happening within the market and stay in front of my clients and stay in front of potential prospects and accounts to develop relationships as best as I can. And the reality is, it's pretty much out of my control. If I do everything in my power and I have some strategy to it and I stay intentional and accountable to my relationships, then the FOMO needs to go away. You just have to tell it, no FOMO, you need to go away, right? And that actual process is one of those things that I have to continually remind myself of. Now, it is something that I talk a lot, creating a parallel process specific to your operations technical function. We go to school and we create these beautiful careers, designing, engineering, building, in my case, writing, creating. I have that sustainable career in terms of doing it. What parallel process can I actually create in my relationships? So then that way I stay intentional and accountable to them. And that's one of the areas that I address in great detail in BD Dynamics. It's one of the great areas that I address in a lot of my webinars and whatnot. So if you were not able to attend the webinar, the free webinar that the two webinars that I actually did a couple of weeks ago, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. We talked about your role as a doer seller in the business development process and those relationships specifically. And how do you get to, I'm not missing out. I actually am being as intentional and accountable to those relationships. So then that way I can go really, really deep and have that beautiful career that as best as I possibly can have. And so it's taking off the competition and actually realizing just to be present and to be present in those relationships with your clients. As you can tell, it's a subject that I absolutely love and I'm really, really passionate about. So I'd love to talk to you a little bit more about it. And I hope that you continue to be well, and I will see you soon. Thanks.